Hello everyone, welcome to Greg Hotchkiss Memorial Field. I'm Hunter Smith, and excuse me, as I said, welcome to Greg Hotchkiss Memorial Field as the San Antonio Christian Lions look to take on the Austin St. Michael's Crusaders in the Lions homecoming. The Lions looking to earn their first win of the season. Had a tough loss against Geneva last week. The Lions found themselves down 41-14 at the end of the first half, but then were able to really mount a comeback. They actually got within 8 points. Excuse me, they got within one score, and then Geneva just took over again, and Lions unable to recover. But it was the best the Lions offense had looked all week. I spoke to Coach Ellard earlier this week, and he said, you know, everything started clicking. We were catching, we were blocking better, and we were just able, you know, we were able to make more plays. So hoping to transfer that success over to this game against St. Mike's. We got about less than 10 minutes before the start of this matchup. And as I said, it is homecoming week, and you can see the big tailgating atmosphere down by the end zone. Really, I think that's one of the things that makes San Antonio Christian so unique as opposed to some other schools, is you get that tailgating experience that you don't see at a lot of other schools. And folks, I am very, very glad to be back here at home, because last week, for those of you that watched the live stream, I was streaming from on top of a bus on my phone. So it was not an ideal situation, but much better conditions here back at home. So now we can give you the best broadcast possible with all the proper equipment and everything like that. The Crusaders are warming up down in their end zone. Coach Ellard earlier this week said, you know, they have some good athletes. They play sideline to sideline, so the Lions are going to have to make some plays if they want to come out in this game with a win. And one of the big positives from the game last week is the Lions offense really started to look like they could sustain drives and score down the field. They had in the Central Catholic game to open up the season, they had a couple of big plays that went for touchdowns, but they didn't have a consistent drive to score. They simply made it on just big plays. Now they showed that ability to sustain a drive, give some of their defensive guys a rest, eat some time off the clock, and keep the opposing team's offense off the field as well. Lions band treating the fans to Back in Black by AC/DC. It's one of the specialties of this Lions band. They bring in that hard rock atmosphere, playing a lot of the classics, because they're not your typical high school marching band, one, because they don't march, but they bring in instruments such as guitar, keyboards, drum sets. Crusaders getting ready to take the field. Of course, SACS played against the Crusaders my time here back in the 2012-2013 seasons. And Lions are making their way to their tunnel as well. And here come the Crusaders. Oh, and player has lost his helmet. Good thing that wasn't in play, otherwise he would have to sit out the next play, as according to the helmet rules. Or those might just be the rules in college. College and the pros. Just under 6 minutes left before we get set to kick off. Lions in their tunnel, getting set to take the field. Lions are going to be without center. Oh, here they come. Here come the Lions. Lions going to be a little short-handed tonight as linemen Johnny Contreras, Zach Dunn are both out, and Connor Shorp will be missing as well. So some key guys missing from that offensive line that the Lions are going to have to overcome in this one.
As Jordan Sugg, class of 2005 and current SACS freshman Bible teacher, will open us in prayer. And if you'll please remain standing for the playing of our national anthem, the singing of the national anthem by Miss Tanisha Smith, class of 2008. Please bow your head with me. Dear Lord, God, holy and powerful is your name and your purpose. And tonight we thank you for the opportunity to play and cheer on our respective schools' team. Please grant to all athletes, coaches, fans, and refs the strength to pursue excellence during this game. We ask for safety for our players and that you protect them from injury and harm. Lord, we lift up the Russell family to you tonight, thanking you for the healing that you have provided for Grayson. We ask for your continual hand of healing and peace for their family. Go, Lord Lion. And finally, we pray for your grace, that you would provide us the endurance to pursue your Son, Jesus Christ. It's in his name we pray. Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, 'twas the
the San Antonio Christian captains on the field for the coin toss, our former SACS Superintendent Alan Axtell and his wife Jean. The Axtells recently became the first to make the commitment to the SACS Foundation Superintendent Scholar Program to provide tuition assistance to qualified families. Please give a warm Lions homecoming round of applause and welcome back Alan and Jean Axtell.
Captains tonight for the Lions, number 4, Grant Satcher, number 6, Ethan Jorgensen, number 7, Brandon Richard.
Your captains for tonight. From San Antonio Christian, number 4, Grant Satcher. Number 6, Ethan Jorgensen. Number 7, Brandon Richard. Captains for St. Mike's are number 30, Paul Meyer. 2, Garrett Urey. Number 3, Lawrence Buchwald. And number 6, Zach Summers.
Lions have won the toss and have elected to recede.
Receiving the first kickoff.
Receive. So the Lions will get the ball first.
Lions ball to start the game. Get on your feet.
Interesting that they decided to take the ball to start the game. Usually when the Lions win the toss, they defer into the second half. And strangely enough, I used to be a big believer in you win the coin toss, you take the ball, let's see the offense first, until I transferred to SACS, and their philosophy behind deferring it to the second half is score, stop, score. You get the ball to start the second half, you score, you stop the opposing team, you score again, then you're up by 14, or if you're down, you've cut into that lead, and really that's just a way to drain the energy and the life out of the opposing team and energize your team. So let's see if it'll pay off this time for the Lions deciding to receive the opening kickoff. And back deep, you have Caleb Durham and Brandon Richard to receive for the Lions.
Before the kickoff, we have a lost parent. Lena Harrison is looking for her mommy. Lena Harrison.
Zach Sommers to kick the game off, and let's play football. This is a short. They tried the onside kick, and they got it.
It's an onside kick.
So the Crusaders decide to be tricky early on, and it pays off for them. So we will not see the Lions offense first. Instead, we will see the Crusaders. Lions were caught. I mean, they just were caught completely off guard on that one. And a very well executed onside kick by the Crusaders. Rolls out to his left. Now firing deep downfield, and he's going to throw it out of bounds. Samuel Saxton in at quarterback for the Crusaders. Austin Dickey is his running back. It's a good coverage downfield by the Lions. Second down and 10 for the Crusaders. Pitches it to Dickey. And finally tripped down inside the 40, and I think he's got enough for a first down. And they will move the change.
It's a first down for the Crusaders.
Saxton, a senior. Dickey in the backfield. Saxton drops back. Now looking downfield, got a man open in the middle of the field, too high, and then off the fingertips of Ethan Jorgensen. That ball was a little lower. Jorgensen might have it going the other way. Lions getting some pressure on Saxton early. And he tosses it to Dickey again. And he picks up about 7 on that play, and that's going to bring up 3rd down and short.
Tackled by number 52, Lennox Stevens. And 43,
So Lions hoping to get off the field here after they gave up the onside kick. Saxton gives it to his running back, and he is met immediately at the line and tripped up. That was Granger on the carry. So now it's 4th down. Crusaders offense staying on the field. Well, let's see if they decide to go for it here. They might try to just draw him off sides here. No, they are going to go for it. Saxton rolling out to his left. Now tries to step up, and he is taken down.
And that Lion defense brings down the quarterback, number 10.
Taken down by Porter Dolsky. And great job by the Lions again after they gave up the onside kick. Their defense is able to give them a stop. Now it's the Lions' offense turn to put points up on the board.
Tonight, we want to give a special thank you to Adidas and Vivero Sporting Goods for their support of the War Lion t-shirts. Over $7,000 was raised for Grayson Russell's medical fund. All of us together and praying for you, Russell.
So Satcher will begin with an empty backfield. It's a high snap, but he's able to bring it down. It escapes the pressure, and he was looking for his receiver. He was looking for Nick Patterson on that play.
Satcher passes incomplete, brings up 2nd and 10.
Lions want a pass interference call, but a high snap. Again, they don't have Johnny Contreras at center tonight. Satcher able to bring it down and escape the pressure and avoid a negative play. Satcher, 2 backs. And he gives it to Hilliard. And Hilliard is just met by a wall of white jerseys. And he will lose one, so it's going to be 3rd down and 11 for the Lions. Cale Odom checking in.
3rd down and 11, ball is at the 36.
Let's see what the Lions dial up here on 3rd down and long. Satcher rolls to his right. Now he finds Caleb Durham, able to make a guy miss, and he's finally brought down at about the 44-yard line. Excuse me, 43.
Tackled by number 45, Brody Maltrip.
So it's going to be 4th down and 4. Lions staying on the field. And they have been known, Satcher has been known to drop back into a quick kick. And it's another high snap, but he's able to bring it down. Now looks deep downfield. He has Cale Odom, and he's got one man to beat. And knocked down inside the 10 is Cale Odom. Big play for the Lions. And again, Satcher just able to bring down the high snap and make a huge play. And I don't know if the corner saw the high snap and it made him pause, but there was no one near Odom. So it's 1st and goal now for the Lions. Satcher fires a quick screen to Durham, and he picks up about 2 yards on that play.
Gain of 4 yards.
That pass nearly could have been intercepted.
Make that a 2-yard gain.
If Satcher put any less heat on that, it could have been going the other way. So the Lions, their strength in this game is going to be with their skill guys on the outside. So look to see a lot of quick passes and screens by the Lions. Satcher in the gun, gives it to Hilliard, and Hilliard will score. Hilliard being patient with the run, and then finally turning on the Jets to get into the end zone.
That's an 8-yard run for Chris Hilliard. Brings your score to 6-0 Lions.
PAT coming.
Hollowell in for the kick. It's another high snap, but able to get it down, and the kick is good. So the Lions taking a 7-0 lead with 7 minutes remaining in the first quarter.
With the PAT brings a score 7-0 Lions.
Now the one thing to note is they've been able to handle those high snaps now, but if they don't get control of those quickly, one of them is going to end up being a big play for the Crusaders defense.
The stands need a program for homecoming. See one of our cheerleaders. They're selling those for $10 tonight. Homecoming programs, $10. And now your Lions will take the field for the kickoff.
And manning the kickoffs for this game for the Lions is Jake Carter. Carter, also a soccer player as well. Decided to try out the kicking game for the Lions. Kickoff has been manned by Jorgensen, but they think Carter can give them a little deeper boot. And that's way back, almost to the 10. Marone cutting it upfield. He's at the 20, still got some space. He's got one man to beat and finally pushed out of bounds. Pushed out of bounds at the 42-yard line. And there is a flag on the field. And typically on kickoffs, when there's a flag, you see it's either holding or blocking the back are the biggest two. And that's going to negate the big return. So instead of having the ball at the Lion 42, the Crusaders are going to start at their own 25. So costly penalty for the Crusaders. And correction, they're actually going to start at the 15-yard line. Saxton in the gun. Slow snap, and And that running back is met by Lions almost immediately. Looks like he might have picked up one. Keegan Granger was the running back on the carry. Saxton, 2 backs in the backfield with him. Now he drops back. Going deep downfield, he has a man open and unable to haul it in.
Pass is incomplete.
The receiver had a step on the defender, just unable to haul it in. There's Josh Morales on the coverage, and good job by Morales to get his hand in there and swat the ball out. So 3rd down and long. Saxton, again, looking deep downfield. Now he rolls out to his right. And throws it out of bounds. Saxton was trying to tell one of his receivers to keep going deep. Finally just throws it towards the sideline in the direction of a receiver, but too far out of bounds. So that's going to be 4th down, and this should be a Crusader punt. Both Richard and Durham back deep to return this punt. There's the kick. A beautiful punt. Richard fumbles it, scoops it back up, now going to try to make something out of nothing. Gets to the 40. He does have speed, and he's finally knocked out of bounds at the 42-yard line. So Lions going to take over in Crusader territory. Richard just has immense speed, so when he gets to the outside, he can cut up field and he can burn you. Lucky he was able to recover that punt, though. So Hilliard is back with Satcher. Gives it to Hilliard, and he gets some rooms outside, and he'll pick up about 7 on that play.
Tackle by number 39, Dylan Brucker at the 39-yard line.
Decent pickup by Hilliard.
It's 2nd and short.
Thatcher drops back, now looks. He was trying to get Patterson. And the ball was tipped.
Pass is broken up by number 60, Jackson Jill. Bring up 3rd down and short.
So it's 3rd down and 3, but because it's such a short yardage, your entire playbook is open on what you can do here. It's short enough to where if you want to try to run, you can, but you don't have to, and you don't have to pass. So he gives it to Durham. He makes a man miss outside, able to cut back upfield, lowers his shoulder, and he's going to pick up the 1st down. Caleb Durham is a guy who they like to put either on the outside as a receiver or put in the backfield as a running back. He's just very versatile in what he can do. And he's been really good lately, especially against Geneva, in breaking those first one-on-one tackles and then getting to the outside and picking up the additional yardage. Thatcher back under center. Now he motions his running backs. Tosses it out to Durham. Durham cuts back inside. And he's finally taken down at about the 26-yard line. Picks up about 4. Or he might have picked up 3 on that carry.
Ball will be placed at the 26-yard line, brings up 2nd down.
2nd down and 7 for the Lions. Okay. And the high pass goes through the hands of Brandon Richard. Trying to set up the screen, but it was good coverage by the defense. As Vaughn Malone was on the coverage, and even if Richard had caught it, I think he would have been tackled immediately by Malone. So Satcher in the gun, 3rd down and 7. Motions Patterson. Drops back. Now looking, he finds Patterson for the 1st down. Rolls over a defender, and he'll go down at the 14-yard line, picking up the 1st down.
That's another Lions 1st down.
Patterson just finding the space, making sure he knows the down and distance to where he gets past. He gets further enough downfield to get the 1st down, makes the reception, and then picks up a few extra yards. So Satcher gives it to Hilliard. Oh no, he kept it. And he'll be taken down at the 10. That fooled the defense, that fooled me.
It's a 10-yard line, it's a gain of 3 yards.
Might have fooled the cameraman Brian, but I think he's watched these guys in practice. He knows not to be fooled. So 2nd down and 6. Satcher under center. Now he gives it to his running back, and that's Hilliard. Hilliard again.
Hand out to number 3, Chris Hilliard. For a gain of 4, that's a Lions 1st down.
Hilliard is.
1st and goal from the 4.
Hilliard's probably the more of the power back between the options that the Lions have. And he's back in the backfield. Satcher under center. Gives it to Hilliard again. Muscling his way through. Still on his feet. And he's going to be stopped about a yard short.
To carry by number 3, Chris Hilliard. Brought down by number 42 and number 7.
Hilliard just keeping his feet moving.
It's 2nd and goal from the 1. Let's punch that in. Get excited, Lions.
2nd down and 1 yard to go. Satcher's going to keep it.
Quarterback keeper.
And touchdown Lions. And the Lions offense has been clicking so far. There's a minute 21 left in the 1st quarter.
With 1:21 left. Your score right now is 13-0 with the PAT coming up.
And they had a high snap in the last kick. This one is good.
Jade Holloway, number 42.
So the Lions now lead 14-0 over the St. Michael's Crusaders. This offense so far has been able to do pretty much anything that they want to this Crusaders defense. And the Lions defense has done a great job in pass coverage downfield and getting pressure on Saxton, forcing him to have to move outside the pocket and try to make plays deep downfield. But again, the coverage has been pretty good by the Lions. They did get a couple of breaks. They had the one big play that the receiver just couldn't hold on to. But for the most part, solid defensive play by this Lions team.
Kickoff coming by Jacob Carter, 33.
Carter on the kickoff. Hit this one at about the 15 on the last kick. And kick is away. And he'll get it, yep. And he stepped out of bounds. Malone caught it, but then took one, about half a foot out of bounds at the 15. And if I'm head coach Ben Ortiz, I'm telling Malone, don't catch that. It's going to go. It's more than likely going to go out of bounds, and you'll get the penalty in great field position to start. So Saxton in the gun. Granger is running back. And he's going to toss it to him. And the Lions are ready, but he's able to still fall forward and pick up a couple. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 8 for the Lions.
Only a 2-yard gain. 2nd down.
They had success early with those toss plays, but they might have gone to the well one too many times. The Lions were ready for that one. Dropping back. Now he rolls out to his right, trying to find a man open deep downfield, and receiver dives for it. Let's see, and they're going to call it a completion, but he's going to be short of the mark to gain by just a yard. So that's going to bring down 3rd down and 1. It was a generous spot, at least for the Lions, because I thought he caught it after the 1st down marker. So then they go back to that toss, and they're able to pick up the 1st down.
Pitch number 9. Keaton Granger. Tackle by number 6, Ethan Jorgensen.
Granger picks up the 1st down for the Crusaders. And that'll do it for the first quarter. Lions up 14-0. It's been a good game so far with the Lions on both sides of the ball. Offensively, they've been able to do whatever they want, and defensively, they have not let this Crusaders team generate much offense. Now, the one problem, though, with Saxton getting outside the pocket and using his legs to kind of extend plays is that secondary, it's tough to cover a guy for 8 seconds. And so on that, like on the last set of downs, they had the decent gain with the pass play, partly because the corner just can only cover a receiver for so long, and then he worked his way back to Saxton. Saxton able to find him and pick up the positive yardage.
The Lions girls and boys cross-country team competes tomorrow as well.
So 1st and 10, ball at the 30-yard line. Crusaders picking up converting a 3rd and short. Saxton in the gun and gives to his running back, but he's met immediately. But he's still on his feet though,
Handoff to number 9.
and he'll pick up just a yard. Granger, similar to Hilliard, does not go down easy. Lions defensive line getting good penetration so far. Saxton drops back. Now looking deep downfield. He's got a man open, and it's just a fingertip too far for the receiver. Josh Morales again on the coverage. And that's two deep plays where the receiver's been about a step. He's had about a step ahead of Morales. That was Reese Anderson, who was the intended target. Yuri in motion. Saxton dropping back. Now steps up. He's got a man, and Jorgensen had the interception, but just went right through his hands. Saxton was looking for number 44, Jack Hagee. Hagee on that play. And that's, again, 2 plays into the middle of the field where they've been just a tad high, and Jorgensen has almost been able to come up with an interception on both of those plays. And there's the punt. And Richard is going to let this one bounce. And the Lions will take over at the 32-yard line. And so far it's been all Lions. 11:06 remaining in the first half.
Visit GoSAChristian.org to find all SACS line schedule information.
And folks, the weather is supposed to stay nice and clear, at least for the majority of the game. However, if it does start to get bad, we will have to pack up, just to give you all a heads up. But Satcher in the gun, and Lions are going to take a timeout.
San Antonio Christian. If you know a family seeking a top quality Christ-centered education for their children, please encourage them to attend the SACS Fall Open House on November 2nd. To register for a tour, complimentary dinner, and free athletic tickets, go to admissions at SAChristian.org.
So far it has been all Lions in this ball game, and their offense has been able to just do whatever they please, really, against this Crusader defense. Now, they had the high snaps early. Those seem to have gotten under control, which is a good thing because Satcher able to salvage the play in the previous two. But again, if it continues, one of them is eventually not going to go his way. Satcher in the gun. Tosses to Hilliard, and he has some big movement upfield, still going, still on his feet, finally reaching down on the ground, and he's taken down at the 35, but there is a flag. Let's see if this play is coming back. And it's a chop block on the Lions, so it will be coming back.
Chop block.
But again, you want to talk about the success that the Lions had in that first quarter. They had no penalties. And the story of this season has been they keep shooting themselves in the foot with penalties, but a good, clean quarter by the Lions. But a costly penalty there. And that is going to back them up.
Takes the ball back to the 17-yard line.
Into their inside their own 20. That penalty was for 15 yards. Lions now having to find more of those deep passing routes. Motions Durham. Now drops back. Thatcher looking for Patterson, but just out of his reach on that play. Another flag down. And let's see, And it's on the Lions again. So it was a false start, but the penalty was declined. Crusaders deciding to take the loss of down instead of giving the Lions another chance. Second down, 25. Satcher drops back. Now firing deep downfield. He's got Durham and just off his fingertips. Satcher almost, again, he was just almost able to get to him. But now it's third down and a mile for the Lions. Satcher now tosses to Hilliard. And he might have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage, and that's going to be it. So Crusaders defense forcing the first punt of the night for the Lions.
Ball spotted on the 18-yard line. It's fourth down.
And Satcher's going to go back, and he's going to quick kick it. Good punt by Satcher. And it's going to take a Lion bounce and roll at the 37-yard line.
First down, Crusaders.
Crusaders defense finally getting a stop, keeping the Lions from starting to run away with this ball game.
Reminder that the San Antonio Christian School Foundation benefits SACS students and teachers. Contact the SACS Foundation and Development Office to find out how you can support the SACS Foundation. With 9:58 to go in the first half, the score remains 14-0 Lions.
14-0 Lions, just under 10 minutes remaining at the half. Saxton gives it to Granger. Bulldozing his way through that line, and he'll pick up an 8-yard gain.
Ball's at the 45.
So Saxton gives it to Granger again, and he's able to get just enough for the first down, and that's going to give them a fresh set of downs.
Tackle by number 6, Ethan Jorgensen. It's a first down for the Crusaders. Ball is placed at the 48.
Jorgensen was in on the tackle, and he's a safety, so just showing his quick reaction time and able to come up and make the tackle, even though he's playing about 7 yards deep. Saxton, and they faked the handoff.
Incomplete pass to number 3, Lawrence.
That's one of those plays when your run game gets going, it can set up a pass play, and that's what the Crusaders were trying to do. Just went through the receiver's hands. So Lions catching a break there on that play because I think everyone bet on it. So Saxton now dropping back, stepping up deep downfield, has a man, and Brandon Richard able to break up that pass.
Brandon Richard.
Crusaders continuing to take those shots deep downfield, just have not been able to come up with any of them. Thought they were going to get that one, but again, Brandon Richard just making the play and ripping the ball out. And third down and 10 now for the Crusaders. Drops back. Now it goes in the middle of the field. And looks like Kale got a hand on it. Kale Odom with the pass breakup.
Fourth down.
And they're going to fake it. And he's got it and more. And he's finally pushed out of bounds. Garrett Urey.
First down.
And he has one of those rugby like punts.
Downs at the 23-yard.
And that's the problem with one of those is that opens up that option. Anytime they could decide to fake it. And he saw the space, and I don't know, I'm sure it was a design play call, but if it wasn't and he just decided to do it on his own, great read because there was nothing but space. So the Lions defense thought they were going to get off the field. Instead, it's a fresh set of downs for the Crusaders.
Visit the Booster Club table tonight. Go Lions.
8:32 left in the first half.
The Above and Beyond Annual Fund campaign provides San Antonio Christian with much needed improvements and enhancements. Look for where SACS
Getting a quick glance at all the
in mid-October.
all the homecoming tailgating going on. Saxton in the gun. And he again tosses it to Granger. And Caleb Durham diving in and able to trip him up.
Tripped up by number 1, Caleb Durham. Only a 2-yard gain. He's 2nd and 8.
Saxton drops back. And is looking, has a man open deep downfield. And touchdown, Crusaders.
Pass is complete to
Crusaders able to start to close the gap.
holding against the Crusaders.
Oh, but it's coming back.
Touchdown.
The flag on the play will negate the touchdown and push them back 10 yards.
Ball is placed on the 32-yard line. 2nd and 18.
I will say, I thought Richard was, even if there wasn't the holding call, I thought Richard was going to get in there and break up that pass like he had done previously on this drive. So, and Nick Patterson is able to throw down Saxton.
80. Nick Patterson.
Patterson not just a tight end, but able to get to the quarterback as well. And that is going to set up a huge third down for this Crusaders
Third down.
offense. So they're at the 40, and they have to try to make it to the 13-yard line. Steps up, finds a guy, and it's intercepted. Jorgensen.
Number 6, Ethan Jorgensen.
Well, third time's the charm. He's had about 2 other plays that just he couldn't quite get the catch. This time, ball falls in his lap. Lions taking over. So Lions taking over at the 31-yard line. Hilliard, Satcher back in the gun, escapes the pressure, now he's able to throw it away. Dangerous throw. Thankfully he was able to get it off without it being intercepted. So instead of taking a huge loss, it's going to be 2nd down and 10. So one thing Lions don't want to do is let their foot off the gas in this one. So gives it to Hilliard, who's able to muscle his way through, and he'll pick up a couple. So it's going to be a 3rd down and long. There's 6:30 remaining in the half. See what the Lions dial up on this play. He was looking for Caleb Durham on that play.
Pass that complete will bring up 4th down, Lions.
So now I think they have to punt. If they would have gotten down at about the 40, I think they would have tried to go for it, but they're still on the field now. But again, Satcher likes to eventually drop back like he is now into doing those quick kicks. Well, and for a second there, I thought he was going to try to go for it on his own.
Fielded by number 3, Lex Buchwald at the Crusader 25.
So the Crusaders going to take over at the 25 with 6:02 left in the half. So the interception by Jorgensen ends up being for nothing as the Lions unable to do anything with the turnover.
Jaden McCullough, Elijah Riceberg, you are Cubs Club's winners. Go to the Booster Club and pick up your prize.
Crusaders down by 14 points. Gives it to Granger. Falls forward, and he'll pick up about 3 on that one. Saxton gives it to Granger. Drives forward. He'll be close. Let's see where the spot is. And it's going to be enough for a 1st down. So just under 5.5 minutes remaining. Tosses it to his running back. And he will get back to the line of scrimmage as he is pushed out of bounds. That was, again, Keaton Granger on the run. 2nd down and 10. Again, Lions starting to key in on that little toss play. But the Crusaders are able to get some positive yardage on it still. So Saxton drops back. He's stepping up. Now he's looking deep downfield. He's got a man and unable to haul it in with Brandon Richard on the coverage. So a couple of potential big plays by the Crusaders, just unable to haul in those passes. Again, if I'm Ben Ortiz, I'm telling my receivers, you're going to have to make contested catches if we want to get back into this ball game. Saxton drops back again as it's 3rd down and long. Feels the pressure, steps up. Now looking deep downfield, has a man, and he has the reception. And that's going to put them at 1st and goal. Again, it goes back to when the quarterback is still able to buy time. Defenders, it's tough to cover a guy for 8 seconds. And we saw it on that play right there. So on the 3rd down, the Crusaders pick up a huge gain, and now it's 1st and goal at the 8-yard line.
We've got a timeout. San Antonio Christian. If you know the family is seeking a top-quality, Christ-centered education for their children, please encourage them to attend the SACS Fall Open House on November 2nd. To register for a tour, complimentary dinner, and free athletic tickets, go to admissions@sachristian.org.
So 4:28 remaining. Crusaders down 14. So it's 1st down and goal, ball at the 8-yard line. Crusaders trying to make this a 1-score game, and they do. That was Reese Anderson on the reception, and that's going to make this a 1-score ball game, but it looks like they are going to go for 2. Man in motion. Now he's looking, and he's unable to connect the receiver in the back of the end zone. So now it's a 1-score game. Lions still up 14-6, but the Crusaders finally getting some momentum on the offensive side. Their defense has stopped the Lions the last 2 times they've had the ball. And if you're the Crusaders, you're thinking, hey, we stop them, we score again, we get the ball to start the second half.
Number 0066. Its license is FNH9600, and it is running with no one attending to it. That's a silver Nissan Rogue. License FNH9600. SACS tag 0066. Your vehicle is running and unattended. It's located behind the SACS. Into halftime, you'll see a Hoco Little Lions cheer leader over there, as well as our band.
Summers to kick.
Zach Summers will kick off for the Crusaders.
Excuse me, Zach Summers kickoff. And again, it's another short kick. And he was able to recover it, and as long as the ball went 10 yards, that's Crusaders' ball. And they're going to say it's the Lions' ball.
However, it is the Lions.
No, it's Crusaders. Like I said, I think there was a clear recovery by Summers, the kicker. But the question is, did the ball travel the 10 yards necessary?
Saying Crusader ball.
And it will. So that's 2 kickoffs that the Crusaders have tried the onside and 2 successful attempts. And Coach Ellard wanted an explanation on why it was Crusaders' ball. And I think what they're saying is that one of the Lions players touched it first. And if that's the case, it doesn't matter if it travels 10 yards. So Saxton hands it to Granger, and he's brought down after about a 1-yard gain. Porter Dolsky getting in the backfield.
2-yard gain. A 2nd and 8 from the 48.
Dolsky's older brother, JT, is a teammate of mine back during the 2012 season. JT graduated in 2013. Saxton. And that's Jack Buffington on the coverage, able to break up the pass.
Brings up 3rd and 8 from the 48.
So now it's going to be a 3rd down and long for the Crusaders. And if you're the Lions, you desperately want to give your offense the ball back with a chance to score before halftime. Saxton drops back. Now he rolls out. They set up the screen and hurdles a defender, and he's got the first down. Granger hurdling Caleb Durham. And I thought Durham was gonna ankle tackle him short of the first down. And that play has got the Crusaders sideline amped up. And who wouldn't be after a play like that? Saxton now rolls out, getting chased and pushed out of bounds.
Quarterback keeps it, runs out of bounds, defended by number 6.
Porter Dolsky again was the one who pushed Saxton out of bounds.
The run was for no gain. It's 2nd and 10.
Second down and 10. Saxton dropping back. Now looking deep downfield. And it's broken up. And there is no flag. Caleb Durham on the coverage, and
3rd and 10. It's another 3rd down.
I was worried that they might have gotten Durham with face guarding, but again, no flag called. It's going to be another 3rd down for the Crusaders. Converted on their last one. 3:11 left. Saxton drops back. Now there's pressure coming. He rolls out to his left. And Richard's saying he caught it, and the official's saying no, the ball hit the turf.
Pass, but it was broken up by number 7, Brandon Richard. 5th down for the Crusaders.
And if you're the Crusaders, do you punt here? I think you do. And again, Lions need to be looking for the fake punt, as it fooled them last time. And it looks like there's going to be a false start.
Delay of game.
Oh, and it's a timeout.
They called a timeout before the penalty. Timeout, Crusaders.
Crusaders call a timeout as the play clock was getting down to 0. So if you're the Lions, you're thinking, don't get beat by the fake like they did on the last drive.
Hosts Natalia next Friday. The Lions girls and boys cross country teams compete at the universities in Concord tomorrow.
And Lions are going to get the ball back with just under 3 minutes remaining. Plenty of time for this offense to go down the field and score.
Lions schedule information.
And hopefully go into halftime with a 2-score lead instead of the 1-score lead they currently have. 14-6, Lions up. Crusaders set to punt. And looks like it's going to be a false start this time. Trip Daniel is the punter.
The call is offsides on the Lions.
That was Patterson who jumped early. So now, if you're the Crusaders, do you still go with the punt, or do you bring your offense back out on the field? I think they're going to go with the punt, but again, if you're the Lions, watch the fake. And it's a short punt. And it's going to be down just at about the 10-yard line. Excuse me, the 15.
With 2:48 left in the first half, your Lions are leading 14-6. It's first down, Lions.
So 2:42 left to go in the ball game. Lions, though, out of timeouts. Lions need to get something going as their offense has stalled the last two drives as Satcher hands it to Hilliard. And Hilliard is bulldozing his way to the 30.
Brought down by number 40, Stone Cedars.
That's going to be a first down for the Lions.
A big shout out to all of our different classes surrounding the north end of the field. Thanks for coming out tonight.
So 4 receivers set. 1 running back in the backfield. Satcher in the gun. Short pass. Gives it to Patterson. Patterson still on his feet. Picks up a block by Caleb Durham. Picks up one more by Richard. He will score. Nick Patterson. What a play. And the announcer and the PA announcer in the booth letting everyone know that there are no flags on the field on that play. So good catch by Patterson, and then just able to get the block by Durham, and then later Richard to free him up and allow him to get the score. Kick is up, and it's good. So the Lions now up 21-6.
John Holloway with PAT takes your score to 21-6. Lions with 2:09 left to play in the first half.
Play was 2 plays, 85 yards. But now the Crusaders still have just over 2 minutes left for them to try to go down and score. Carter set to kick.
Jacob Carter set to kick.
Nick Patterson, the junior, committed to Michigan, or his brother is the starting quarterback, Shea Patterson. Kick is away. And fumbles the kickoff, but able to recover. And still spinning around, finally taken down at about the 27-yard line. Excuse me, the 28.
Lex off called on the reception. Right? was placed on the 28-yard line. It's a first down for the
And
Crusaders.
the Crusaders, again,
2 minutes
they've
left in the first half.
had those deep they've had those deep passes. They haven't been able to connect on a majority of them.
Cheer clinic.
And the matchup to watch for is Morales on Reese Anderson. Morales has been beat a couple times deep. And there's Granger going up the field. And he will be
Brought down by number 23, Jack Buffington.
just shy of the first down. And they're going to say he actually got the first down, so that's going to temporarily stop the clock. And Saxon rolls out. And now he just throws it out of bounds. Porter Dolsky closing in on him,
Throws it out of bounds.
followed by Jack Buffington.
Be 2nd and 10.
Second down and 10. Saxton drops back, now looking, has a man but unable to connect. And again, that's been the story of this first half for the Crusaders. They've had receivers that have been open but just unable to make the catch or unable to make the contested catch. And if the Crusaders want to climb back into this ball game, they're going to have to make those plays. So Saxton dropping back. Now he steps up, looking again, and they're going to say the pass is incomplete. Again, that was basically the exact same play. It was there. Richard closed in and just unable to make the reception. So minute 27 left, 4th down, and here's the punt. And they didn't have anyone back there because they did not want another fake punt to go their way, to go the way of the Crusaders. So that's going to down them at the 13-yard line.
First down, Lions.
So Lions have the ball, a minute 12 left in the half. Up 21-6. Crusaders get the ball to start the second half. Curious if the Lions will do their own version of an onside kick, as the Crusaders have done 2 successful onsides on the Lions. The Lions showing that they have the ability to score quickly on that last play. Sasher tosses it to Hilliard.
Pitch out to number 3.
Cuts back upfield, and he's down at about the 20.
Number 60.
He'll be down at the 18.
Jackson Jones.
Lions going fast. Under a minute left. Sasher now looking deep downfield. He's got a man, and there is Brandon Richard will score. Like I said, folks, this Lions offense, they can score quickly. And if Brandon Richard has a step on a defender,
Another 6 points.
all Satcher has to do is get the ball to him, because there's no catching Brandon Richard. .200-meter state champion. The state runner-up in the 200-meter dash is Caleb Durham.
Jared Holloway once again.
So Lions up 28-6.
Score 28-6 with 42 seconds left in the half.
And I talked to Coach Ellard earlier this week, and I told him, you know, against Geneva, you shut them out in the second half, but you were in such a big hole in the first half. That was the issue. What can you do to make sure your guys come out strong to start this game? And he said the biggest thing is just make sure we start like we did in the second half against Geneva. And that has been the case so far. I want to say they've only had two or three drives that have not resulted in points. And their defense gave up one big play and then the fake punt, but other than that, they've been very solid as well. And the Crusaders just not been able to make the easy plays this first half. They're going to have to start making those consistently if they want to come back into this game. So Jorgensen now back in to kick, and this is a short one, and it's still on the ground, scooped up at about the 25. That's DeWitt who rolls out, and he's still got some room. He's still inside, and he's finally dragged down inside the Lions 30. Malone DeWitt on the return. And now if you're the Crusaders, you can definitely start thinking, hey, let's get out of this half with some more points. Again, in great field position.
Spotted at the 29-yard line, first down for the Crusaders.
It's ball to 29, first and 10. Saxton drops back, finds Granger, shakes off a man, and finally taken down. It picks up about 2 on that play.
Number 10, Samuel Saxton. Forced out by number 1, Caleb Durham. Timeout, Crusaders.
And St. Michael's decides to take a timeout.
Was a gain of 1. It'll be second and 9.
If you're the Lions defense, you have to be thinking that they are in a strictly pass-only situation. They want to try to get in the end zone.
17 seconds on the clock.
So there are 17 seconds remaining. They put a couple back on the clock after the timeout. Saxton drops back. Fires, looking middle of the field, and that's intercepted. That's Jorgensen again. That's his second interception of the game. Crusaders keep trying to attack the middle of the field, but they have not had success there. Both of Jorgensen's interceptions have come from the middle of the field. And they're going to take a knee and go into the half up 28-6. So it's been all Lions in this one. Lions go into the locker room up 28-6. Crusaders have had a couple opportunities when they've taken some deep shots, just have not been able to connect. Coming up at the half, we'll look at some of the first half stats and my own halftime analysis, and we'll take a look at the home excuse me.
He's gonna put on a
And we'll take a look at
We also
the
have a
Lions
presentation by our
cheerleaders.
guests
Have a
and
halftime show
San
performance.
Antonio
The
Christian
bands.
Lions band.
Just lock it down. Yeah. My cameraman Brian Campbell gonna lock the camera down. Take a quick little break as we have a 28-minute halftime. As the Lions Cheer Clinic sets up for their halftime performance.
going on tonight across football and volleyball, across the world of K-Max Sports. And we're so grateful you're here with us for this beautiful night for homecoming. San Antonio, Texas, on the north side of San Antonio, after being on the east side where we could go to St. Louis. Holy Cross last week, played San Antonio Christian this week. And still have some work to do here as the 28-6 lead for the San Antonio Christian Lions. Trying to get their first win against St. Michael's. As we turn our attention to tomorrow, where we'll have a whole bunch of really good college football games. We'll start with the top 25 first. My Northwestern Wildcats on the road at Michigan State. The Spartans have been a little underwhelming this year. The Wildcats always tend to play the Spartans tough. That one's on FS1, comes up at 11 a.m. Keep an eye on that one. I know a lot of people in Texas will be watching other games. We'll get to that in a second. Yeah, keep an eye on that one. Also at 11 a.m., number 1 Alabama is at Arkansas. The Crimson Tide are 35-point favorites on the road against a pretty tough, a pretty brutal Razorbacks team. They've had better years. That's unheard of. That's just mean. That's just not nice. They are not nice. One of two games between top 25 teams. This is the one that the eyes of Texas will be on. It's on Fox at 11 a.m. Number 19 Texas versus number 7 Oklahoma in the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. Both teams are ranked. That's how the Red River rivalry game should be. Just a great game. And the pageantry around that one is just part of what makes it so great. Staying in the Big 12 on ESPN2 at 11. Kansas is at number 9 West Virginia. Mountaineers 28.5-point favorite when I checked earlier. They should roll. Look for big numbers for Heisman contender Will Greer from the Mountaineers. Also at 11 a.m. on ABC, Maryland is at number 15 Michigan. Both teams have been up and down and could be close to the double-digit spread indicates. Michigan took a while to get going last week against Northwestern. Maryland, their best win has been that Texas win. So not really sure what to expect.
We found a set of cookies. If you lost,
this is not going to be it. Not against Maryland.
They would be
At
looking at
11:30 on
the
ACC,
Extra Club
Boston
tennis.
College is at number 23 NC State. They're both 1-0 in the ACC and pretty evenly matched. BC was ranked before they lost to Purdue, which is a pretty bad-looking loss now. NC State probably wouldn't be ranked if they hadn't played West Virginia. That game got rained out because of Hurricane Florence. So they're still unbeaten, sneaking in the top 25 here. So that's the ranked games in the early morning slate. To the 2:30 round of games we go. ESPN will have number 4 Clemson at Wake Forest. Clemson survived that big scare at home against Syracuse last week, having to come from behind to win that game. Now they hit the road and play a solid Wake Forest team. We'll see.
They lost to Syracuse last year.
Yeah. Something about the orange versus orange does not sit well with the Clemson Tigers. They dropped in the rankings because of that game last week. The other top 25 game match between top 20, actually there's a third one. So the second of 3 top 25 matchups is number 5 best win is against a winless Nebraska team. So because Nebraska continues to struggle, that quote-unquote best win for Colorado doesn't keep looking less and less impressive. They did. At 6 p.m. now, SNU is at number 12 UCF. That game on ESPNU after thrashing the Panthers in the Knights of UCF. Lots of Canadian American play. They couldn't have any chance of sneaking in. At Texas A&M, the Aggies are actually favored by about a touchdown. They're playing at home. It's a tough place to play. Kentucky's the ranked team. They're unbeaten. But Texas A&M's close losses to top 5 teams.
Looking back, everyone, just under 7 minutes remaining in just under 7 minutes remaining before we start the third quarter. And really the story of that first half has just been, it has been all Lions with the exception of one drive by the Crusaders. Ethan Jorgensen, 2 interceptions. Meanwhile, Grant Satcher has found Nick Patterson, Brandon Richard. He snuck one in himself. Chris Hilliard, he was able to get one in. So just a lot of different guys getting touches. The offense putting together consistent drives, but again, they're showing they can score extremely quickly, as they did, just as they scored twice. As they scored twice in the final 4 minutes of the first half. Nick Patterson, he's becoming more involved in this passing game every single week, as opposed to really in the season opener against Central Catholic. He really wasn't much of a factor at all. Got more involved in Bandera and Cole. Really got involved in that Geneva game, and now. Sorry, folks, I'm just trying to talk over the PA announcer, but just Nick Patterson being more consistently involved in the passing game. Satcher just finding him, building that QB tight end relationship, and really just showing everyone this is why he had all those division offers and now is a commit to play at Michigan. And if you're the Crusaders, really just the storyline for them is their receivers have had contested balls thrown in their area. They just have not been able to come down with them. So if they want to make their way, claw their way back into this one, that's going to be the first step.
Crusaders have returned to the field.
Crusaders coming back onto the field. Lions still working their way back from the locker room.
Sure, yeah. One more move left. Quick rundown of the other moves. I know their running back is it's going a couple other Texas teams that last night. Could be on FS1. K-State is at Baylor. The other team is back to the Big 12 race. At 6 on ESPN 3. UTSA is at Rice.
Cameraman Brian Campbell making his way back.
Get on your feet and welcome back the San Antonio Christian Lions.
Lions getting set to take the field.
Henry Ellard back onto Greg Hotchkiss Memorial Field. Here they come.
And just under 2.5 minutes until we get set for the second half of football here at Greg Hotchkiss Memorial Field. And cameraman Brian Campbell is back right on time.
Please go to the Athletic Booster Club so you can be found by your son. Lost parent, Monica Moss.
Brian always doing a good job of just if I'm talking about something or if the PA announcer is talking about something, he will go ahead and just find those shots for me to help just kind of match up what you guys are hearing. Again, that's something that you'd be surprised, but just working with other camera people that they don't always think about, and he's been able to pick it up right away, and it's just been able, it makes my job a lot easier because I can trust him to where I can focus on the game, and I know he's going to go wherever that shot needs to be. So now the test is for the Lions to complete that full game, which is something that they really haven't done against Geneva. It was all about the second half again, outscoring the Eagles. And really they've looked more like a second half team if you look at their overall performance. Against Central Catholic, majority of their points came in that second half. If you look at Bandera, yes, it was rained out. It was scoreless, but most of the offense effective ball movement came in the second half of that game. And so now this is the real test. Can they finally put together a complete game? Final seconds till we are underway for the second half. The Lions homecoming game against the Austin St. Michael's Crusaders. Now the Lions won the toss and they elected to take the ball first. However, the Crusaders did an onside kick, and they did 2 successful onside kicks against the Lions. So now, with the Lions set to kick, you have to wonder, are they going to try some trickery of their own? Personally, if it was me, I wouldn't necessarily try it because I would think Central Catholic would also be expecting that since they did it to you. So they're prepared for you to do it back to them. But really, if you're the Crusaders, this opening possession is so important to get some points, whether it's a field goal or a touchdown, but just get points on the board.
All right, folks, get on your feet. We're going to begin the second half. Get up.
Jake Carter set to start us off this second half. And here we go. And oh, wow. So the Lions tried their own onside kick, and it was almost executed perfectly, except just unable to be hauled in by Brandon Richard. And it looks like when that front line of the Crusaders realized that the ball was still going consistently backwards, they kind of they didn't really think that much about it, but it was, again, almost able to fall. It landed right in the hands of Brandon Richard, just not able to bring it in. Crusaders getting good field position. Gives it to Granger, shakes off a couple tackles, And he's finally taken down at the 46-yard line. Going to be enough for a first down.
By number 6, Ethan Jorgensen. Ball be placed on the 43-yard line. It was enough for a first down.
So Daniel Cernia coming in at quarterback, replacing Saxton. Yep, gets the handoff, and he again shakes off a couple arm tackles, and he picks up 8 yards. Granger on that carry. Granger's a back. You're not going to get him down with arm tackles. He has proven that so far in this game. So the Crusaders change up a quarterback, has yet to throw a pass. And there's the toss. And Granger's able to pick up the first down as he goes down inside the Lions 30.
Brought down by number 23, Jack Buffett. It's enough for a Crusader first down.
Cernia gives it to Granger. And he is leveled by Brandon Richard. But not until he's able to pick up the first down for the Crusaders.
Another Crusader first down. Ball placed at the 18-yard line.
So the Crusaders have just run to start this first quarter. And gives it to Granger again. Again, shaking off the arm tackles.
Keep Granger on the carry again.
Peaked up about 6 on that play.
Taken down by number 60, David Segura.
Lions need to come up with an answer and quick, or the Crusaders are going to cut into their lead. Gives it to Cernia, fakes the handoff, finds his receiver, spin move, Richard holding on.
Pass to number 3, Lex Buchwald, taken down by Brandon.
So Buchwald, the receiver, picks up a few yards. Good job by Brandon Richard, though, of being able to hold on until help arrived. Otherwise, that would have been a touchdown. So first and goal for the Crusaders. Cernia tosses it. Granger still on his feet, diving forward, falls forward, and he's going to be down at the 2-yard line. It's going to be second down.
Second and goal from the 1. Number 63 on the tackle.
Cernia has yet to, he's completed one pass, and Granger just lowers his shoulder. Podolski right there to make the tackle. It's going to be 3rd down and 2. It's going to be 3rd down and 1, and this is absolutely going to be 4th down territory if you're the Crusaders. Tosses it, Granger. And he is he got bat right at the line of scrimmage. Great defensive coverage by the Lions. And there's an injured Lion on the field. And I think that's Ethan Jorgensen who's down. Correction, that is Cale Odom. Of course, Odom, a transfer from Smithson Valley, first year at SACS. And he's a guy who every week just seems to be more and more comfortable with this Lions offense, and was really getting to the point where he isn't thinking, he's just playing. So hopefully not too bad. He's walking off on his own power. Like I said, absolutely fourth down territory for this Crusaders for this Crusaders offense. Trying to climb back into this one. Gives it to Granger, and he did get it. Touchdown, Crusaders.
Granger with the carry.
And so they are going to go for 2. And now Saxton comes back into quarterback. And there is another injured Lion down on the field. So now you would assume the Crusaders would go for 2, make it a 2-score game. Excuse me, it's still a 2-score game. And that's Jack Buffington. Was able to get off on his own power, but very slowly coming back to that Lions sideline. So now Crusaders look like they're going to line up for the point after attempt. But Crusaders have shown that they're willing to try some trickery. Could that be something that they are about to do here? And the kick is good.
Brings the score.
The Lions.
13 Crusaders.
Excuse me. The Crusaders cut into the Lions lead. Lions still up 28-13. 8:22 left in the third quarter.
We'd like to announce some of our cheerleaders to the crowd tonight. We'll do it at the fourth quarter.
So, be interesting to see on the next Crusaders offensive series if we'll see Cerna again, or will they go back
It's the top of the seventh.
to Samuel Saxton.
5-2 over the New York Yankees.
Boston up 5-2 over the New York Yankees. MLB playoff action update. So now if you're the Lions, really needing to answer with a score of your own here, as your defense was just run all over on that first drive. And if I'm Coach De Los Santos, special teams coach, I am telling every one of my players, get ready for the onside. Because more than likely it is coming. And there it is. And it looks like the Crusaders are going to fall on it again. That is 3 straight onside kicks that the Crusaders have recovered. And you can see the frustration on some of these Lions players coming to the sideline. And you have to be frustrated because you know it's coming. They've done it. They did it twice in the first half. They were successful. Why would they stop? You know it's coming, and you still can't recover it. So Cerna is back. He hands it off to Granger. He's got a big hole. Finally brought down by Brandon Richard inside the Lions 25. So the Crusaders immediately making the Lions pay for not recovering the onside kick. Cerna still in at quarterback, back in the gun. And he rolls out, finds his receiver, and he's dragged down by Caleb Durham. Looks like there's a penalty on the play. And the penalty backs up the Crusaders to the 29.
Penalty on the play.
Erna gives to Granger, bounces the outside, and he slips. So he'll pick up a yard.
Slips out for no gain.
Or he'll just get back. They'll just mark him at the original line of scrimmage. So now if you can put the Crusaders in a 3rd and long position and make Cerna throw, we'll see how good of a passer he really is. And he goes over the middle, and this time they're able to come down with a contested catch.
15, Daniel Cerna throws a completion. Number 39, Dylan Brooker. Enough for the Crusader first down.
That was Dylan Brucker on the reception, and now Ethan Jorgensen is down. Jorgensen took a lick last week against Geneva. Was able to come back from that. And I think it's that same ankle that he tweaked in that game. And hopefully it's just a cramp and he's able to come back. He's one of the leaders of this defense. Junior, able to go off the field on his own power. One of the main wideouts, one of the starting safeties. Does the kickoff. He's the backup quarterback. He just does a little bit of everything, folks. So now it's Crusaders looking to make it a 1-score game. And Cerna pitches out to Granger, and he is finally thrown down at the 10-yard line.
Brought down by Evan Russell.
Cerna throws it, and Brandon Richard is right there immediately to take down the receiver. Brandon Richard read that one perfectly. He's able to bring up a loss of 1 and a 3rd down. And a big 3rd down for both teams. Again, Crusaders trying to make it a 1-score game. Lions trying to keep them out of the end zone. Cerna drops back, looking, and again, Brandon Richard right there to break it up.
It
comes the kicking unit. Zach Summers. Trying again, cut into this lead. Kick is up. And the kick is good.
And the kick is good by number 6, Zach Summers.
So 28-16. Lions still up,
16. Still your Lions
but the
leading
momentum
28.
starting to shift in the favor of the Crusaders. Lions offense, Lions special teams need to recover this onside kick that you know is coming, and then the offense needs to really get a drive going and answer
Walker and Reed Broyle, you're the latest
this
Cubs
newly
call.
energized Crusaders
Go to the
team.
Athletic Booster Club to retrieve your prize.
Again, like I said, the Lions trying to put together that full, complete game that has eluded them so far this season. So the Lions now bringing everybody up. Again, trying not to have a fourth straight onside kick go in favor of the Crusaders. And this one is high. And let's see who they say. The Crusaders say they have the football. And the Lions sideline is going to dictate before the signal's called. And it's Lions football.
Lions ball.
So the Crusaders nearly had their fourth on. Well, it really wasn't much of it wasn't an onside kick. It was just a short kick that they almost recovered. So now the Lions need to put together a drive of their own and really start to quiet this Crusader sideline and take some of the momentum back in favor of San Antonio Christian.
It's a Lions first down.
Satcher back with Hilliard.
Ball's placed on the 28-yard line.
.5:17 remaining in the third quarter. Satcher gives to Hilliard. Powering his way through. He's got a first down and more. And finally brought down at the 45.
Brought down by number 8, the Crusaders, Austin Dickey. And number 45, Corey Beltran.
There's some runaway trash going on behind the Lions huddle. And Brandon Richard making guys miss, showing off his speed. Still on his feet.
In deep territory.
And finally taken down inside the 20.
Finally brought down by number 5, Malone Druid, and number 8, Austin Dickey.
And if you watched on that play, Caleb Durham, it looked like he was trying to get a signal from the coach, but really what he was doing was distracting the corner to set up the end around, making the defender think, oh, he doesn't know what's going on. Lo and behold, he does. He's ready to set the block. Richard getting the big gain. Great theatrics by Caleb Durham. Satcher now tosses it to Hilliard, who is able to make a man miss, get a block. Still on his feet. Keeps going. Now, still on his feet, finally brought down inside the 10. He's going to be close to the first down.
Brought down by too many Crusaders to count.
And I think they're going to signal that he did get it.
That's another.
And that's going to set up first and goal.
Well, that's a line first down. First and goal from the 8.
Satcher gives to Hilliard. And he's brought down at the 5.
Chris Hilliard up the middle.
Picks up 3.
Down by number 40, Stone Sears. He's on the 5-yard line. Second and goal from the 5.
Satcher under center. Motions Durham. Now fakes the toss. Satcher keeps it himself, but there's going to be nothing there. He's going to lose a yard on that play.
Run by Grant Satcher. First out of bounds.
So now third down.
4 yards.
Third and goal at the 10.
It's third and goal.
Third and goal at the
The
9.
Lions.
Officials blow the play dead. Not sure what they were discussing. I wonder if they're discussing the time on the clock. Put some more time on the clock. 3:15. Satcher drops back. Now looking back, looking for Patterson, and the pass is broken up. He's looking for his tight end.
Pass broken up by number 7, Vaughn Malone.
So that's going to bring out the field goal unit. Carter with the kick. And it is no good. So the Lions move the ball, but unable to come up with any points. Crusaders are going to take over at the 9-yard line. Excuse me, they're going to take over at the 20. So now the Lions defense really needs to get a stop here. Give your offense another chance to score some points. So Granger still on his feet. He is a guy you are not going to arm tackle. And Josh Morales bringing him down. That has been the story of this second half so far.
That was enough for a first
As
down.
Granger's runs seem to be getting easier and easier. Granger gets it again. Now he's met by a wall of black jerseys and taken back down. And they'll mark him at
Brought down by
original line of
Brodowski,
scrimmage.
Number 43.
And there's an injured Lion down. Lennox Stevens is the injured Lion down on the field. Lions already have a few players missing this game. Can ill afford to lose much more. And Stevens is able to, again, jog off on his own power.
2nd and 9.
Second down and 9. Cernan. And broken up on that play, Ethan Jorgensen. He has been all over the middle of the field tonight. He's got 2 interceptions, multiple pass breakups. And that's going to bring up a 3rd and long situation. In the first half, the passing game really was going for those deep, big plays. They've kind of gone away from that so far. And there's the toss. Granger still on his feet and is going to fall. And I think he's got the first down and the official signal.
9-yard gain, enough for a Crusader
So
first
it gets just enough.
down. Ball be placed on the 47-yard line.
And to call a run on that play just shows you how confident they are, the Crusaders are in their run game. And finally taken down in the backfield. There is a flag on the play.
There's a flag on the play.
It's Jack Buffington on the tackle. And it's on the Lions.
San Antonio Christian.
I think that was Nick Patterson who jumped early. And he jumped early on a punt earlier in the first half. And just trying to give himself best position to make a play. Sometimes the timing just doesn't work. Now looking deep downfield, unable to haul it in, but there is a flag on the play and looks like it's going to be pass interference on Morales. Morales is a guy who's been beat a couple times tonight, and he was either able to break up the pass or the ball was just overthrown, but now it looks like he was beat, couldn't recover,
Pass interference.
and that's what led to the pass interference.
Gives the Crusaders a first down.
And Cernan rolls out and unable to connect to his receiver.
Pass by number 15, Daniel Cerna, incomplete. The 2nd and 10.
Second down and 10. Cerna able to roll out. Looks like he thought there was going to be a play going out there, but then he's finally taken out. And he might lose a yard. Or no, he got back to the original line of scrimmage.
Make that the 36.
So, actually, no, he did lose one. He did lose one. So 3rd and 11.
Get loud, Lion fans. 3rd and 11.
Cerna drops back. Now steps in. Got a man deep. And Caleb Durham just unable to get his head around in time.
13, Reese Anderson.
And Cerna hits Anderson to pick up the first down and put the Crusaders at 1st and goal. And Granger is met immediately by a wall of black jerseys.
Granger. Taken down by David Segura, number 60. It's 2nd and goal.
Cerna gives it to Granger, getting outside. And he's finally taken down at the 5.
Short game.
Jack Buffington and Porter Dolsky in on the tackle. So 3rd down and goal, and they're going to run out this quarter. And that'll do it. It's going to be 3rd and goal when we start the 4th.
Brings us to the conclusion of the 3rd quarter.
They're down by 12 points, so it's a 2-score game.
Crusaders 16.
And in scoring position, and again, this is 4th down territory if you're the Crusaders.
At this time, I'd like to introduce to you our cheerleaders, starting with our senior captains, Sterling Sibelman and Captain Cameron LaFleur.
Introducing the cheerleaders during the quarter break. And one thing, folks,
Riley Towers.
one thing, folks, about this homecoming game that's been really unique that San Antonio Christian has done is that a lot of
Junior
the coaches and a lot of the fans, family members are wearing
Hayden Jones.
these navy blue shirts that have War Line, which is the slogan that
Junior Abby Wood.
the team has decided to adopt for Grayson Russell, who is in the hospital who's been battling an illness for about a month, and his family, big Auburn fans, so they adopted the War Lion logo, and now they made War Lion T-shirts for this game, and the money raised for the T-shirt donations went to helping the Grayson Russell family, but they went with that navy blue because it matches matches the color of Auburn. So 3rd down and goal. Cerna tosses it to Granger, cuts back, and is met by a wall of Lions. So it's 4th down, and it looks like the kicking unit is going to come on. And again, just with what the Crusaders have been able to do tonight, I wouldn't hesitate to think that they might try to fake this one.
We skipped her. Didn't need to.
And
The Crusaders
it's good.
attempt is good. Takes them to 19.
So now Lions lead is only 28-19. It's a 9-point game, and if you're the Lions, you have to be thinking you have to score on this next play. Again, the momentum has gone towards the Crusaders, but you've been able to hold them to field goals so far.
Become a member of the San Antonio Christian Booster Club and help support your Lions. Check out gosachristian.org for up-to-the-minute news, line athletics, and get more information on the Athletic Booster Club. Or visit the Booster Club table tonight.
And here comes the kick. And they go with the deep kick. And that's going to go into the end zone. So the Lions leaving nothing to chance on that one.
It'll be Lions ball with a first down.
So the Lions scored 14 points in the first quarter, 14 points in the second. But they were shut out in the third. Partly because, again, the successful onside kick after the Crusaders' opening quarter touchdown. And then they put a drive together and got into scoring range, but just unable to hit the field goal. So Satcher with Hilliard. Gives it to his back. And he is met immediately in the backfield, and he will lose one. There is a flag on the play.
Flag on the play.
Let's see who that one's against.
Face mask against the Crusaders.
And it's a face mask against the Crusaders. So that's going to be a 15-yard penalty and move the ball for the Lions to give them a first down.
That's going to give you a Lions first down.
So 11 minutes left in the ball game. Satcher gives it to Hilliard. And he muscles again, muscles his way through. He's got a first down. Pushes the defender away, still on his feet. And finally goes down at the 26-yard line inside Crusader territory.
That's going to be Lions first down. Ball was placed on the 27, first and 10 for the Lions.
Satcher under center. Tosses it to Durham. Goes to the outside, and he's taken down in the backfield for a big loss.
Brought down in the backfield.
Durham trying to be patient and waiting for the hole to open up, but chased down by a Crusader.
Ball's placed at the 32-yard line.
So big second down coming up for the Lions, needing to get a big chunk of that loss back and some more to give yourself a third down and reasonable. Satcher gives it to Hilliard. Cuts to the outside, and he goes down. There's a flag on the play. And holding on the Lions. And that's going to push them back even further. So not the direction the Lions want to be going.
Ball's placed on the 42-yard line. Second down, Lions.
Second down and not an ideal distance. Satcher gives it to his running back, trying to push his way forward. Still going. And his forward progress is going to be stopped at the 40.
Whistle dead. At the 48 line.
So third down and 22. Thatcher looks, finds Durham, and
Pass complete from
Durham
Thatcher.
taken down immediately at the 30.
Durham.
So the Lions in that no man's land.
At the 31-yard line. It's fourth down, Lions.
Thatcher gonna go empty backfield. And Crusaders are gonna take a timeout.
Timeout, San Antonio Christian.
Excuse me, the Lions are gonna take a timeout. They're gonna talk this one over. And 4th down and 15. After the first half, you thought the Lions were going to run away with it, but Crusaders have, again, because of the success they've had with the onside kicks, they've been able to hang in there, get a touchdown on their opening possession, and then they've hit field goals on their last 2 drives.
It's fourth down for the Lions. Let's get it.
So 9-point game, still a 2-score game. But here come the Lions going for it on 4th down. Thatcher drops back, looking deep, going for Richard, and it hit him right in the chest, but Brandon Richard just unable to hold on.
This is incomplete. It'll be a turnover on downs. First time Crusaders. With 7:45 left in the game.
Now it looks like those catches that the Crusaders were dropping now are starting to plague the Lions. Should be good. Gives it to Granger, who's got a hole.
Line up the middle.
Take it down at the 40, and it's going to bring up 2nd down and 1.
73, Ben Gonzalez. And number 7, Brandon Richard. Gain of 9 on the hole. 2nd and 1.
Gives it to Granger, who shakes off a couple tackles and is down
Handoff to Keaton Granger, number 9.
at the 47-yard line.
By Ben Gonzalez, number 73 for the Lions. Ball placed on the 45-yard line. It's a first down for the Crusaders.
So just under 7 minutes left in this ball game. Looking deep downfield, he's got a man, but again, just out of reach.
Daniel Cerna falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Drops back now, feels the pressure, able to escape out of it. Looking tipped, and Granger almost came down with that.
Pass incomplete. Brings up 3rd down and 10.
Really some of the first big pressure that the Lions defense has gotten on Cerna this second half.
It's 3rd down. Make some noise.
3rd down. Cerna drops back. Now he steps up, looking deep downfield. And it looks like his receiver stopped and then continued on his route once he saw that the ball was going deep. So I don't know if that was a little bit of a miscommunication between quarterback and receiver, but certainly looking to go a lot deeper than that receiver was originally planning. So here comes the punt. I don't think they would fake it in this situation because you give the line. Oh no, they are going to fake it, but there is a flag. And they're not going to get it either.
There's a flag on the play. He stopped short of the first down.
Let's see who the flag is on.
It'll be declined.
It's declined. And the Lions are going to take over and get great field position.
First down, Lions.
And of course, the Crusaders proven me wrong, as I said I don't think they would go for it just because in this situation you would give the Lions excellent field position. Now the Lions are hopefully hoping to use that field position to put some points on the board and further their lead. As Crusaders were down 28-6 at half, but have come back and made it 28-19. Again, shutting out the Lions in the first half. And Hilliard. Chris Hilliard swallowed up right away on that one. And also, if you're the Lions, you got to be thinking, hey, you want to eat up plenty of clock to not give this Crusaders team enough time to score. Now there's motion between the running backs. Gives it to Durham. Looking to find space outside, and does, and he's able to get back to the original line of scrimmage.
Pushed out of bounds to the 50-yard line. Gain of 4.
So that's going to bring up third down and 10. All right, excuse me, third down and 11. 12.
Correction, ball spotted at the 48. It's 3rd and 12 for your Lions.
And so I don't think the Lions go for it if they don't get it here. I think they want to give the Crusaders the longest field that they possibly can. And Hilliard hurdles the man, but hurdles him out of bounds. And they're 2 yards short. They're definitely going to line up like they're going to go for it. They might try and draw an offsides here. And if they don't take the bait, then Satcher just drops back and kicks it. But also because Hilliard went out of bounds, the clock has stopped. Now he steps up, looking. He's got the first down and more. Satcher keeping, and finally goes down at the 27-yard line. Gets the first down and more. The Lions' drive is still alive. The 5 minutes left, clock still going. Satcher tosses it to Hilliard, and he cuts upfield, finds some room, bulldozes over a man, still going, and is he in? No signal yet. Nope, they're going to mark him 1 yard short. But a monster run by Hilliard. He went beast mode on him. Just refused to go down. Gotta feel bad. He came up 1 yard short of the touchdown. And Hilliard gets it and goes in for the score. So unable to get it on the big run, but picks it up on the next one. And there's an injured Lion down on the field now. And that looks to be Hilliard. So not what you want to see after a player scores a touchdown. Lions have had several players go down tonight. Luckily, they've been able to spring back up and come back into the game. Let's hope Chris Hilliard does the same. Again, he's able to come up, walk off field under his own power, which is always a good sign. So now we're get set for the point after. There's the kick, and it is good. So the Crusaders gave the Lions a scare as they came in within 9 points, but then the Lions tack on their first touchdown of the second half and couldn't be at a more opportune moment. Lions now up 35-19. So 4 minutes, 11 seconds left.
Press box. If you make your way to the parking lot and realize you can't get home tonight, your keys are probably up.
And I know the Crusaders have had success in the second half with their run game, but I would imagine they would possibly abandon it as now the clock becomes a factor. Clock will stop after first down. And here's the kick. And it's short. And that's going to give the Crusaders a short field to work with. Again, Jake Carter, the kicker, Trying to get as much practical experience with those onside kick attempts because you never know when it's going to come down to you have to recover an onside if you want a chance to win the ball game. So not opposed to the decision to try an onside kick there. Cerna drops back, looking deep downfield, got a man, and Brandon Richard is able to close that gap between him and the receiver and break up that pass play. Pass was also a little bit behind and short of the receiver. Cerna didn't lead him as well as he could have with that pass. So Cerna rolls out, finds his man, dumps it off. He's inside the 30. Now he rolls down to just outside the 20. So that's going to stop the clock. A little less than 4 minutes remaining. Cerna now rolls out to his left, firing deep downfield, and he is out of bounds. So it's second down and 10. Just over 3.5 minutes remaining. Brandon Richard on the coverage. And an injured Lion on the field. That's Brandon Richard. Hopefully it's just a cramp. Can ill afford to lose him. Second down. Cerna rolls out to his right. Looking deep downfield, now just throws it up and throws it out of bounds. That's going to bring up third down and 10. And you can't settle for field goals if you're St. Michael's.
Third down line, fans. On your feet.
Rolls out to his left. Now looks. Now, and he slips and falls down. Portodolski with the sack. That's gonna it definitely knocks them out of field goal range if they were planning on attempting it, but
it's fourth down.
Makes this fourth down. I don't want to say impossible, but makes this an extremely difficult fourth down for the Crusaders. Now looking, going, it's in the middle, broken up by Caleb Durham.
That's a turnover on downs for your San Antonio Christian Lions. That's a Lions first down.
So Lions take over on downs. They take over at the 33-yard line with 2:50 remaining. And if you're the Lions, you're going to try to run out the clock as much as possible, but Crusaders more than likely going to use their timeouts.
Big shout out to our San Antonio Christian student section. Yeah.
Satcher under center. Gives it to Garrett Bates. Muscles his way down. Oh, excuse me, that was Hilliard.
Run. Brought down by number 8, Austin Dickey. Timeout, Crusaders with 2:41 left in the game.
And there's the first time out by the Crusaders. Look at the Crusaders sideline and bleachers. And a lot of the tailgates have packed up as we head into final 2 minutes. 3 minutes. 2:41. Satcher tosses it to Durham, who cuts it back inside, goes across the middle of the field, and he's got speed, and no one's going to catch him. That is going to be a touchdown by the Lions.
That's a 63-yard run for Caleb Durham.
And folks, you could say that that was the dagger of this game. Oh, ball's on the ground. Bates picks it up, and he will not be able to run it in.
Garrett Bates with the run.
So after the run by Caleb Durham, Lions now lead 41-19, 2:22 remaining in the ball game.
Lions 19, Crusaders with 2:28 left in the game.
So you could say the Hilliard touchdown was the one that put it out of reach, and this touchdown by Durham is the dagger.
In development office to find out how you can support the SACS Foundation.
And so the Lions, just under 2.5 minutes from claiming their first victory of the season. Could not have come at a more opportune time than homecoming. Yeah, and Carter looks set to kick this one deep. Or do the Lions try their own onside kick? At this point, just everyone should do an onside kick, no matter what, in my opinion.
Jake Carter with the kick.
But Carter's going to kick it deep. And it's going to go out of bounds. So Carter definitely has a strong leg and is able to boot it deep, but just still trying to get pin down that consistency.
It'll be Crusaders ball. First and 10, Crusaders.
It's first and 10, ball at the 30. And Cerna rolls out, now fires back deep. Now fires back across into the middle of the field.
It'll be second and 10, Crusaders.
Cerna lucky that ball was not intercepted. Cerna rolls out to his right. Has the defender on his heels. He's able to shake one off, and then he just finally dumps it off. And now there's the flag on the play. See that sideline getting rowdy, as the Lions know that they are a little over 2 minutes away from their first win of the season and hope to turn that into a win streak.
Makes it 3rd and 10, Crusaders.
Cerna drops back looking. There's the middle of the field. And his receiver just wasn't ready for it. That was Jack Hagee, the intended target. Again, he was open, just his head wasn't turned around. It's the one thing with the incompletions, though. You don't really eat up much clock, but here we go, 4th down and 10. Now Cerna rolls out to his left and just throws it out of bounds. So Lions are going to take over.
That'll be a turnover on downs. Another Lions first down. With 1:56 left in the game.
Just under 2 minutes left. Satcher in the gun. Gives it to Bates. There was a little confusion on which side the ball was coming. And Bates is swallowed up in the backfield. Lions just trying to eat up some clock. And again, as I mentioned, the challenge is playing a complete game. And if you take away the mistakes, if you take away the onside kick issues, this was a complete game by San Antonio Christian. And Satcher's going to take a knee.
Satcher takes a knee.
And Crusaders decide to call a timeout. So now it's going to be 3rd down. And even if the Lions take another knee and the Crusaders can't stop the clock again, not enough time on the play clock to wind this down. Satcher back in the gun. Lions look like they're going to try to gain something. And Bates is able to pick up a few.
Short gain.
So that's going to bring up a 4th down. And there's going to be another timeout. And it looks like this one is an injury timeout.
You know he's been in his coach's ear.
Or maybe it was just a normal timeout. I thought I saw one player, looked like a trainer was going up and talking to them, but 4th down for the Lions. Can't imagine they'll do anything other than either take a knee here or run a play with the hope to pick up the 1st down so you can then run out the clock. But they're just going to keep the ball on the ground here. Gives it to Garrett Bates, who goes up, picks up a few. It's going to be a turnover on downs, but 42 seconds left.
It's a turnover on downs. With 43 seconds left in the ball game.
And what's really nice to see, too, is now you have the ability, since you know you're more than likely going to win this game, especially at this point, you can put in some of these younger guys and give them some of that varsity experience. Lions, of course, taking on Hyde Park next week. And Cerna rolls out, but unable to connect with his receiver.
To number 44, Jack Haggy.
So there's 32 seconds till the Lions can officially say they have earned their 1st win of the season. A couple of games that really, early on, the Lions beat themselves more than the opposing team beat them with just mistakes. And now this is a game that they've. And pass is incomplete, but they're going to get pass interference.
Multiple flags on.
Yeah, they're going to get cornerback for face guarding.
It's reps for their guys, too. I think the coach will maybe have some words and at the same time also say,
And that flag was on Evan Russell. Evan, of course, the brother of Grayson Russell, who again, the San Antonio Christian family just showing their love and support with the Warline t-shirts that the coaches, many of the fans, parents are wearing tonight. Of course, they were donated to the school by Adidas, and the printing of the Warline logo was donated by Vivero Sports. So just truly incredible to see this community, and of course all the money went to help the Russell family.
21 seconds
Center rolls out, just throws it away, and that pass is incomplete.
Yes, by number 15. Cerna is incomplete.
12 seconds left.
It's 3rd down.
Cerna now just trying to find someone open and throws it up in the air. There's a flag on the play, but let's see if are they even going to bother with it.
Pass interference.
It's Pass interference on the Lions. So they're going to do probably just one untimed down. This is it, the last play of the game. Cerna heaving it up there, and it's going to be intercepted.
Pass is intercepted by the Lions. Number 21.
Still on his feet. Shea Allen. And the Lions can officially say they have a win.
Your San Antonio Christian Lions win.
Great game by the Lions, just again able to finally piece together that full game, get the win, and now they hope to turn this win into a win streak as they take on Austin Hyde Park next week in Austin. For those of you that joined us tonight for the broadcast, thank you for sticking with us. And if you've been consistently sticking up with our streaming broadcast, thank you for bearing with us last week as I was on top of a bus streaming off of my phone. But good to be back here with a nice setup. Everything went smoothly. Again, thank you for staying with us, and we will see you guys next week in Austin. I'm Hunter Smith saying good night. And I'm also going to say goodnight for my cameraman, Brian Campbell, as again, always does a good job. Always, always, always. Thank you very much.